Judd, hell
We're
is
in
where we are. Because of dogs.
Where am I?
That's the whole podcast today.
You're
if
in
you're
hell.
a fan of dogs, then you're wrong. Sorry. That's it.
You've never seen what I was just referencing then, but I know we'll talk about your hell really quickly. But there was two brothers. All right, I'm setting this up like a fable.
Is this the Rick and Morty?
Yeah, they're two brothers. No,
scene?
There's two brothers who had a YouTube. This sounds like I'm describing this. It's not. I don't even know if they were brothers. They looked similar. They had like a similar build and a sort of similar like. You know, they similar looking to each other as me and you are to each other, and we're like half brothers. That's why I think brothers.
Okay.
But they always did these really fucking shit, and I'm sorry, but they are shit. These fucking shit YouTube. Again, this sounds like I'm describing us. But like, there'd be these terrible pranks that weren't actually even really pranks. That both of them clearly knew what was going on, but. Like one of them was this. He's this. I don't mean to be mean, but he's this fat guy, and he comes up to the camera. It's like, I'm gonna steal my friend's holiday ham, and then he steals his ham, and then the guy walks in and goes, "Where's my ham? I put it right here." It's just shit.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, the only reason I bring it up is because you were saying hell, and I was going, "I'm in hell," because he did a sending my friend to hell prank, and then he was like, "I'm gonna trick my friend, and then I'm sending her to hell," and he like put red curtains up and like set a red light off, and this guy went, "Where am I?" And then he came over a speaker and went, "You're in hell." Wait, what? Where am I?
I hate that you've told me this.
Really shit prank.
I didn't want to know any of this.
It's just like, I don't even know what to say about it.
This has made me feel worse, Judd. You've made it even worse.
We're in hell.
Listen, Rob, if you don't know what we've been blabbering about for about 3 minutes so far, I'm not a fan of dogs. Don't like them. I don't really like animals in general. They're awful. They're really annoying. I always try and say, like, if I'm seeing someone else's pet and they're like nicely behaved and things like that, I actually like that.
Yeah.
But it's like when we go to visit our dad and his girlfriend, they've got a dog that's pretty well behaved. It's nice to give it a pat and things like that, and that's not much of a problem at all. I quite like that,
My dog's pretty great. My dog, Toby. You've met Toby before.
Yeah. I always forget that, I mean, there's two dogs that are in your family that I've met. One of them is awful.
Yeah.
The other one's great.
She really is a bitch, Dolly, and, you know, she's a dog, but I mean, you know, she's also a cunt, but she I don't know, like, with family members, and usually with most other, like, humans, she's, like, pretty good. Like, she loves being around humans, but not you. She doesn't like you for some reason. She goes crazy when she sees you.
She
like,
maybe can tell that I hate dogs.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
But normally that works in my favour. Normally that means the dogs behave a bit better for me, and they like me more.
Yeah.
So
I think, sorry, I just want to say about Dolly, I think what the thing is that she loves, like, being loved, Dolly. She loves when people pick her up and, like, you are so, like, you know, a proper...
She does not like me trying to love her.
No, I know she doesn't, but that's the thing is you don't. You actually can tell, like, in your heart of hearts that you actually hate dogs, so she's like, get away from me, you fucker. Because, you know, you're not actually gonna love, but, like, I pick her up, I'm like, you're such a... And she, like, honestly, she does literally, if you can imagine, the cutest pose a dog could do, with, like, both its paws up, like, sticking the tongue out of it, looking at you with the big puppy eyes, and you're just rubbing a belly. But for you come anywhere near, it's just like...
It's ridiculous, though, because, like, in that scenario, I'm more than happy to pet the dog for a while. I'm not there for long. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
she can tell,
shouldn't be. She just knows that, like, overall, like, I don't really care for her.
But she hates other dogs. Like, if another dog goes anywher near her, apart from, like, dogs, she's knows.
Small and like yappy scrap.
She is a Maltese, and they're very small dogs. But yeah, I love her.
I hear.
I know, fair enough. But I understand. It's like, I mean, I've seen her when she's weird. I'm like, Dolly, what the fuck are you doing? Like, she's like you, how she is with other dogs.
Right.
Like,
we'll get to the current predicament when it comes to this eventually, but I kind of wanted to go through all the dogs that we've kind of interacted with.
Yeah.
I mean, so obviously, well, we can start with the ones that you currently, kind of know. So where does that dog, Dolly, live?
Dolly lives with my mum and her husband.
Right, yeah.
In their home.
That's why I used to interact with her enough, because when I would visit you, it would be...
Yeah,
that's the dog
when
that
I
would
was
live there.
living with my mum. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. That dog was there.
But now it's a different dog, which is why I kind of forget which one's which.
So now I live with my grandparents, and they have a dog. Well, I mean, it's their dog, obviously, but it's also kind of like my dog because I picked him and everything.
Right.
So it's like, and that's Toby, who is a miniature Schnauzer, and so he's German. And he's always been really well behaved.
He just doesn't really care in the best way. He's definitely one of the better end of these horrific shit things.
Toby is like a stereotypical childhood best friend dog. I feel like he's.
I don't know. I think most people think of a more kind of energetic, playful.
No, but he is with me though. Is the thing? It's like he'll play with me, and he'll he always comes running up and going crazy and stuff. So
I've literally never seen him move.
I know because like for other people he's not really, but if he'll want to play with me and stuff.
To me, that's better. I prefer him not to be like. I love how he is with me. He'll plod over to me, just look at me a bit. I'll go, there you go, and he's like.
Yeah,
and just kind of wander off.
I think maybe he senses you probably hate dogs as well. But the things with Toby, like you say, he doesn't care. He's just sort of like, I'm all right going about my business, sir. I'll mosey on.
He essentially comes over to me and is like, I'm cool with you if you're with me. I'm like, yes, I am. It's like, nice.
Toby is the cowboy in the bar who's like, listen, partner, we don't have no trouble. We're gonna be fine. But Dolly is like the little bandito who's like fucking shooting pistols at me, going.
That's true. I don't know how old Toby is.
He's
your
10.
dog,
he's
so
10.
He's pretty old as well.
Yeah.
He comes across as old. I didn't know if he just was kind of like that sort of colour as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes he this sounds really weird, but he had a stroke about a year ago. Yeah, he had a stroke. At least we think it was a stroke. Basically, what happened was we were just like. I think I was in the kitchen also eating food because I'm a fat fuck. I was just stuffing my face. But I think what happened was my granddad stood up and he was like gonna go put the dog out. He was gonna go put Toby out, and it's like, come on, Toby, and he just weren't moving. And then so it's like, come on, bud. And then he sort of like, not hard, he sort of like just pushed his butt down off the sofa to try and get him moving. But he like went down and he like yelped like when he like sort of went down. And it's not like a big, it's like just from a sofa side
like
to the floor.
Maybe,
so
something like that.
So we were like, what the fuck? What was that? So, we checked on him and he was sort of like just shaking really badly and like, and then he did go outside that day. And then, like, the next morning, he was just, like, laid on the kitchen. He was like, I'm not moving. And he was just weren't moving at all. We're like, what the fuck is going on? So we took him to the vets. And, we were worried. For a couple of days, we thought we were going to die, to be honest. But then...
that happens with dogs, though, as well.
Yeah.
There'll just be a moment where it's like, they just turn. And it's like, they're probably going to have to be put down at some point.
Then, we picked him up, and the vet was like, "Yeah, we're not really sure, but we could probably guess it. Like he's had a stroke." And it took him a couple of days to get better. He was running a bit funny. Whenever he was running towards me, the back leg would just kick out. It would just kick out randomly. So it was like, so that was probably was a stroke because like his brain was. Yeah, I know. But then after like,
what I will say is right. Obviously, that's definitely one of the better dogs.
Yeah.
Still don't really like him that much.
That's fair.
Like overall, like it's not like he never barks.
Yeah.
And I don't like, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but I hate dogs barking, and I know that's like one of the fundamental things about them. Yeah. But yeah, sure, I don't like that though. It's like saying, one of the things I don't like about dying is the death part. Well, sure, that's fine.
Yeah. I would just, but I just wanted to say that he. After he got better, he seems more like lively than he was before he had the stroke.
Right, okay.
Is what I was trying to say, but he's fine.
Maybe he's like lost some brain function, but like it's enough so that he's like you know, like stupid people
Yeah.
seem happier.
Yeah, I
And
know what you
maybe he
mean.
was a bit too smart for his own good before.
Maybe because that's another thing. Like before, when he was younger, he used to not like sort of being pampered and like cuddled and like held as much. He used to hate me going anywhere near his belly. He did not like tummy rubs. But now he loves them. He's always like coming up and like cuddling me on the sofa. He's like. He's got itchy spots. I know all his itchy spots. It's usually one under the chin, one at the back of the neck, or one behind the ear, or one on the chest fluff area, if you will.
I can feel myself zoning out when dog people try and tell me the positive things about their dog. I'm like, I'm sure you love it. It sounds
I'm
annoying.
sure you love it. I'm sure you
It's
love
like,
it.
I like petting a dog on my terms. The problem with a dog is, right,
Yeah.
if they're not a loving one, you can't do that for a start. That's fucking annoying. Most people say, oh, they're all loving if you treat them. No, they're not. Stop it. And then if you get a loving one, then it's like never really on your terms, so it can be quite annoying.
Some dogs are just awful, like people. Like dogs are like people in a way that they're just some are just shit.
You know, way less controllable, and like you can't be mad at them when they shit on your rug, and people are like, that's a shame, isn't it? If a human came in and just shat in the middle of my living room, I'd kick the shit out of them.
They're like a severely mentally challenged person then a dog.
Even so, you can't walk around a mentally challenged person on a leash and them shit in the middle of the street.
No,
like,
but
even
also,
that,
but
dogs are getting away with it more.
You couldn't get mad at a disabled person for doing that, could you? You couldn't.
Oh, yeah, you could.
No, you couldn't. If they were like severely mentally disabled, you're like,
my god. Well, look. So even your nice dog Toby as well.
Yeah.
I don't like picking up shit.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Like, that's not good. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't always want to have a dog wanting me to cuddle them. I'm fucking busy, dog. I'm trying to do something. It's like, you know, and all these things are things about them, and it's not like I'm not necessarily blaming them when it's a good dog like that. But I don't like it. I don't like it. Do you know what? Like, another thing, I hate walking the dog. I hate it. I love walking. Like, even if I lived here on my own, I would go for a walk regularly, pretty much every day, probably. Just walking around, listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something, walking to the shop, something like that. A dog makes that so much more difficult. And even if yours is a well-behaved dog, it doesn't matter, because there'll be other people with ridiculous animals and things going about, and you can't go into a shop on your own because you have to leave them outside, and that's not really fair on them either. And it's just so much worse. It's so much less freedom. Speaking of freedom, even with a good dog, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go anywhere for a prolonged period.
Unless you have people you can dump the dog on. And
which is normally me, by the way. Which is normally we're normally the dog hotel. So that's. I think it was important to kind of say that even good dogs, which, you know, Toby seems to be definitely one of the better dogs. As much as I appreciate them a lot in very small doses, like, I would prefer them not be there, definitely. It's like, you know, if I was going, you know, if you were home alone and looking after the dog, and you were like, he's
I did the face.
And you were like, you know, come over, we'll have some drinks and play some games, or we might watch like a movie or something like that. Yeah, sure, I would, but like, that would be even better if there wasn't a dog there.
Yeah.
To me, you know. Anyway, so that's those dogs.
Toby's chill, bro. He'll just smoke a bone. He'll just
smoke a bone.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any other dogs that are not like Dad's dogs?
Not Dad's dogs. So, no, I don't think so. Well, I guess honourable mention to Dexter, who is my mum's other dog, who is a sausage dog.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, you've never been to my mum's like new house.
Oh, right. Was it like her husband's dog before?
Well, no, they got it well together. Though, so,
that's stupid. Why would they do that?
Because they can't have another kid because they've had the snip, so they have to.
They shouldn't have had any kids either, but that's a different issue.
I know you don't have to pay like $3,000 for the kid, like straight up, like, do you? When the kid comes out, it's like
probably.
I don't know,
probably more, actually. But that's not the problem there. That's not what I don't care about that bit. But
yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. What's that dog like?
Just he's very yappy. You wouldn't like Dexter either.
Okay.
He's not as bad as Dolly. But he does this like really funny thing. I've never known a dog like Fetch so much. So he'll do this fucking thing where like he'll bring his bone over and like sort of slowly put it down and then like give you this big side eye look. And then like if you don't like, you know, if you just go for it while he does that, he'll go, I'm taking it away. But if like you'll ignore him, like I'm not fucking playing your little games, Dexter. He'll like very coyly like nudge it over with his nose, like, oh jeez, look what I just fucking. He'll like knock that over and then you'll pick it up and he'll scamper again like over to you and you'll throw it and it'll just. But it's just that all the time. He'll never get tired of that.
Look,
so
that like the first time you see that can be pretty cute.
Yeah. But then
and then you see it again, it's already like not even close as cute. And then like the third time, I'm pissed off now. It's like stop it.
Yeah.
Oh god. So okay, there's that. So my weird explanation. We have the same dad but different mums.
Yes.
And so obviously it was kind of like my family, Judd's family, and then the shared kind of dad's family.
We were
bit.
grown in tubes like the Powerpuff Girls.
Okay. They were all like cracked and like they weren't made of glass, they were made of like fucking porcelain or some like shit that's not right.
Until there was a secret ingredient. Mental ring. I can't say that.
God. Anyway, so my family has had some dogs, but Dad's dogs, the kind of joint ones we've known.
Yeah.
So the most memorable one to me is Ty.
Yeah.
That's the only dog he's really had other than the one he's got, isn't it? I mean, he's looked after some dogs temporarily.
I think so. I think that's right.
There's three I can remember. Not that he's owned, but three that come to mind. So Ty was a staffy dog.
Mm-hmm.
A reasonably big one, I think I remember.
Yeah.
Like quite stocky and powerful.
Yeah.
It was a boy. And didn't Dad just get him? Didn't he adopt him just cause? What happened there?
I don't know. I think he just adopted like a rescue dog when it was like fairly young, and we sort of just had that dog then. And then like,
did he have a partner at the time, or was that when he was on his own? I can't remember.
I honestly can't remember, but he
Weird.
was.
We were like teenagers, young teenagers as well, weren't we?
He was pretty well behaved up until like. We had a friend who came round, didn't we? And he would just like attack his shoes, like he'd go crazy and just like
this guy did not have, like it was not good. Looking back at it, that like he's not good dog behavior. He shouldn't have been doing it. We can say Luke. It's fine.
Yeah,
loads of people.
I just wanted to say because I couldn't remember if it was Luke or Connor.
No, it was Luke.
Okay.
It was Luke, definitely. Because Connor was fine. Connor was another friend that we had, and he had a dog, so he kind of knew the case. Like, dog get excited, jump at you, and you're like, "Oh, give up, you fucker!" And it's like that's it. But this guy Luke, he looked like a cross between Roy and Moss on IT Crowd. He was white, but like had the style and kind of the whole look of Moss. Yeah. And oh my god, he was the most typical nerd you would have ever seen. And he never had dogs or anything. He was an only child too, so he'd never been roughhoused. We went round to his house once, and I could feel the like mollycoddling of the guy.
I remember he was like probably about 2 or 3 years older than me, and he was like, "Oh, come round to my house one time." And I remember going round, and he was sat there watching like Disney Channel, but not like cartoons or anything. It was like more sort of like babyier live action stuff, and he was like all of them.
Chuggington, like that.
No, not that kind of stuff, but just like not. Sort of like Sweet Life, but it wasn't Sweet Life. It was like, you know, sort of, I don't know.
I have no idea what you're saying.
I don't know, but it was just like, I remember even like at that age being like, I don't know, I was thinking like, can't we go like play Call of Duty or something? I was like, I don't want to sit here and watch Disney Channel.
I remember being at his house once. It was always like, he had no concept of like sharing or anything.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't like sharing at all now. Yeah. That's part of my personality, really, just fundamentally. But, like, I can do it. Yeah. Like, and when we play games together and stuff, we, like, easily swap out and stuff. But he would, like, really not be happy. Like we would have a system when we were playing games at that sort of age where it was like
still have the system.
we still do the same system. It's not a perfect one, but it was worked for us.
It's kind of perfect in how like black and white it is, and it's like,
and sometimes you can get really screwed by it because like, and it wouldn't work in a lot of senses nowadays because it was like. It was kind of tailored to linear story games, really, weren't it? But we adapt it. Anyway, so the system is, if you finish a level of the game, you swap.
Yeah.
If you die, you swap. Now, it might be that someone dies, you swap, and 2 seconds later you finish the level and have to swap back to the person who died.
Yeah.
But the thing is, across a lifetime of gaming, that happens an equal amount.
Yeah.
So we kind of, didn't necessarily have to have that system to play with him, but we kind of like to adopt that kind of system for people who we're playing with. But he just I just remember like he would die or something, but like, and it weren't always like this, but he'd like try and have an excuse like, no, just let me do it again.
Like, I remember that. Yeah,
and so he was that kind of guy anyway. But when he would come over and this dog was there at my dad's. Because he was, honestly, this dog could smell beta on him. He could. Like, we weren't exactly cool kids, but the dog didn't didn't chase us or anything like that. But this dog would chase him, like, just on repeat. And he came over, and obviously dog were kind of excited. I wouldn't like this either. Like, started kind of jumping up to him. We were saying to him, "Oh, look, just shove him off you. It'll be fine."
Yeah.
And he wouldn't. He kept like trying to run away from him.
He'd go like,
"Just stop." And then just push him off you. Yeah. And he literally,
or like give him some muffin, like
running around the back garden with his dog chasing him. Like, stop! You're just like gonna get excited. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But
like Ty wasn't like nasty chasing him. Ty's just like, whoa, okay, we're going. We're up against the plane there. And
exactly.
Like, so like, and then I don't know. And then he was like, well, I'm also gonna eat your shoes, you fucking nerds. And like,
but he never actually was trying to bite his shoes.
I think
he was just kind of like, you know when you're like playing with a dog and it bites your hand, but it's not actually hurting your bite. He was just doing that to his shoes. He was just kind of like putting his mouth on his shoes, like, "Oh, I'm playing with you." So if he'd have just gone, "Give up, you fucker," then it'd have been fine. But I don't know. I remember that dog being okay, but I don't remember a lot about it. He had to give it up.
But he gave it up because he wasn't in the house a whole lot, and he didn't like the idea of Ty just being in the house, and it says so. Now, okay. I have asked him this before because I was like, look, the way you describe it makes it very sound a lot like you're like, oh yeah, we took him to a farm and he sort of ran around and was like, happy for the rest of his day. And that's what you tell kids when a dog dies.
That's not what he told me.
What did he tell you?
He told me that he gave it to a friend.
No, I know, but he told me. What I'm saying is that you do that to kids, like you're
he told you that he gave it to a friend, but in that sort of way.
Yeah. But the way he was like, with this friend, I think she was like an older woman who like lived with like a good bit of land or something, and that's why I'm saying it was like, we've taken this dog to this big farm where it's got lots of land.
No,
to run around.
I think the way you were kind of told, the way I remember him telling it to me, it weren't like that kind of perfect.
No, but what I'm saying is, I asked him later on in life, and I was like, you can tell me now because I'm like I'm an adult.
I'm an adult. Did you kill that dog?
No. I was like, did you eat that? Did you serve the dog to us?
Oh my god, the doorbell's going off and everything now. I think my family's here. They're also coming for tea today, even though it's podcast day, and we've got a fucking mangy mutt to deal with, and I'm the only person in my department at the minute, and also the crazy amount of work's happening. So of course it's a great time for everything to happen at once. Anyway,
right?
Dog's not dead, probably. Well, it might be now. Probably is now.
You'd hope so.
Also, you need to shut that door because the dog will try and come in and eat us.
Why doesn't it be a special guest on the podcast?
No, it would eat the microphone, Judd. So yeah, that was Ty. Anyway, I don't remember a massive amount about him. The next dog I remember them having, moving a bit. Well, the next dog I kind of remember in association with our dad is he had. When we were growing up and we were teenagers, he had quite a lot of girlfriends. Like he divorced Judd's mum, and then kind of like every so often there'd be a woman he were seeing who it would get a bit more serious, and then we might meet them for whatever reason.
And she'd be our mum for the month.
Yeah, basically. So there's
Oh jeez.
Oh, my mouse has arrived. Oh, that's not even handling. That's great. I've got the mouse that was broken has arrived. It just got slid under the door.
Was that? Did the actually
The dog didn't do that.
I was just going
It
to
was
say, but I was
immediately.
like, I don't want to call Jad. That's awful.
Yeah, anyway, so our dad was dating this kind of... It was actually the first time he dated an older woman. I remember that sticking in my head that he told us that.
Maybe that's where I get my pension from then.
What do you mean? Your pension, by the way, is how you say it.
How do you say
It's
it?
for just anything. It doesn't really matter
Yeah,
much.
fair enough, yeah. But why do you say it? Pension.
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 Yeah. Pension.
Pension. Okay.
I like the mouth shape you do when you do that.
Is that Japanese then? Pension.
No, it's French, I think.
That's not French.
Okay. Anyway, so just as a side note, this is the same woman he was dating when we've told the story about Judd getting way too drunk at 13 and being sick all over her
I think I
bathroom.
might have been 12.
It was when she had like a psycho son who just wanted to like gun us down. with
Yeah,
Nerf
one of
guns
them
and,
was
like,
alright,
make it
yeah.
really not fair.
Yeah.
And then the older son like obviously knew this and didn't really want to be there very often.
Yeah.
She was quite rich. It was that one. I also, interesting development on this one. Once dad asked me to like fix something on his phone because it was at the point where I just about knew
okay,
something
yeah.
about technology.
Yeah.
Now I had to go in his files for this.
Are you allowed to talk about this? I don't know.
I might have seen it was no nudes, no nudes in there.
Damn.
But there was one
Was it
provocative, yeah.
How was it tasteful? Was it artful or?
yeah, reasonably.
Because
Yeah.
I could imagine her doing like an artful picture where she's like not actually showing anything.
Yeah, it was lingerie. I remember purple
Yeah.
lingerie, I think
Oh, nice,
it was.
yeah.
To be fair, could have been anyone. I couldn't see the face. So,
Yeah, it
but-
might not even have been her. It might have just been. It might have just. That might have
Yeah,
been. That might have been. You know, weird Uncle Jeff. He might have sent him that picture, being like, "Whoa, look at that!"
I don't think either our dad or our weird Uncle Jeff would have known how to send a picture.
Yeah,
of a
it's
phone
actually
at
that
that point,
is
to be fair.
yeah. Okay, that's yeah.
So anyway, this woman, he was dating her, and at one point, I don't know why he did this. He really shouldn't have done it. He bought her. I think it's because she was turning 50,
Yeah.
so he needed to get her a big present. He bought her a puppy, like a purebred husky puppy. Do you remember?
But she already had a husky, didn't she? Did he like get a puppy?
I don't know whether you're kind of maybe misremembering that that's what he got her, because
Right,
you were with her for a
okay.
bit of a while after that as well. She might have also already had a husky and he got her a puppy
Yeah.
as well. I can't fully remember. What I do remember is he definitely bought her a puppy, a husky puppy.
Jeez.
Because I remember him turning up to pick us up
Yeah.
with a puppy. Like, that's like... When you like as a
Yeah.
kid, I didn't have the same feelings about
Yeah.
animals and things like that. As a kid, that's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
our dad's bought us a puppy.
Yeah.
This is the biggest dream ever. And then he's like, no, it's not yours.
Yeah, no, your puppy. Sorry.
And like, knowing our dad, I thought he'd
Yeah.
just be taking the piss.
Yeah.
And joking, but he wasn't
No,
at all.
no,
he was
it-
like, no, I bought this for that woman.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, but you get to see it for the weekend.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
oh,
like- it's
that's
like-
cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So there was that, and I remember we took it home to his house, and immediately went inside, ran up the stairs into our bedroom, and did a turd on the floor right
Yeah,
in the
I
middle
remember
of
that.
the bedroom.
I do remember that.
I remember it being, I don't know how much our
Yeah.
memories have been altered
Yeah.
since then. I remember it being a picture perfect
Yeah.
swirl.
Yeah. No, I actually remember that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we found it hilarious
Yeah,
because, back then, I don't have to clean that up.
No, it's like, yeah.
It's a mess that we've not made.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah,
not going to get in trouble
yeah.
for it. That's what it was like.
Great.
So, I don't know, I found that kind of funny. But looking back on it now, my God, I would fucking hate that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the other one. And then the last dog is that our dad's got is called Charlie, and they've had to adopt it because my dad's girlfriend's friend just kind of didn't want it anymore after his partner died.
Yeah.
Which is,
I think,
I know that kind of like some excuse has been couldn't look after it or attached to it, but
I just want to say the context really was that the one partner wanted a dog more than the other, and then he sort of passed, and this other partner wants to live a much more outgoing lifestyle, so it's not fair for the dog to live with him because straight up he never wanted the dog anyway, which I mean is kind of like
I can relate.
I was just gonna say it's like he doesn't want the dog, so you know, and he also, it wouldn't be fair on the dog because he's
Yeah.
going out. So it's like
It feels a little bit worse because she's quite a nice dog.
Yeah, she
like,
is lovely, Charlie,
so
yeah.
far as they go, could be worse. But again, it's like needs plenty of walking.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's not like never barks and then you have to get up in the morning at a certain time. It's all the same problems, very much there still. So yeah, so my family's dogs, there's not been that many. My grandparents, I remember, had a dog called Sadie when I was really young, who, like, back in those days, like, you could beat your dog and people wouldn't give a shit, right? So that meant that this dog was, like, actually trained, because if it misbehaved, my granddad would fucking whack it. Like you know, it's like, and you know, it would do tricks and all sorts, and it... Happy as fuck. Dog was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. People are so scared of giving the dog a smack. Like, obviously, if your dog's like 2 inches long, then give it a much smaller smack than if it's a fucking Great Dane.
Give it a bap.
You could probably fucking give a left hook to a Great Dane. It wouldn't really be that bothered. So, you know, it was. I just remember the only memory I've got of that is that it would train to have a biscuit sat on its nose. And it would, like, slightly shake him with his biscuits on its nose until it were allowed to go, just grab it. So there was that. Then my family had, like, a small staffy cross called Betty.
I think I remember Betty.
Oh, yeah, you will do, definitely. Betty was great. Betty's my favourite dog so far because she was ours and because there wasn't that many problems with her. When we first got her... Every so often she might bark at someone going by the house, but it wasn't that common at all. And she would bark if anyone came to the door.
Yeah.
So if someone opened the door or anything, she'd run up to them barking and then realise, oh, this is fine. And then that was fine. She was very greedy, so she'd eat lots of food, which is a good thing.
She were a fat bitch, weren't she?
She was,
I remember her being a fat bitch.
She wasn't that fat.
That's fine.
Right.
No, Toby's fat anyway, so...
She wasn't as fat as Toby.
yeah.
And she always just wanted cuddles. And I liked her even more as she got older, because she'd kind of... stopped barking altogether, even at people at doors and things like that. And the worst bit about her, though, was she hated other dogs and she hated cats as well. Hating cats, I kind of understand, like, that's very normal dog behaviour, don't mind that too much, but hating other dogs made it really awkward to, like, bring her anywhere, even walking her. Like, if another person was walking the dog going past, I had to be like, you don't like your dog, stay away.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, something that pisses me off like mad about dog owners. Keep your dog on a fucking leash.
Yeah.
I hate it. Now, some people will go off into, like, you know, some fields or whatever.
See, the thing is, that's if I take Toby for a walk, that's what I'll do. I'll go to a field, but then if I see somebody, like, you know, a ways off, I'll put him on the thing, because you need...
Still not good enough, I don't think. Because you've no idea what other dogs are going to be about there. Like, you might think your dog's fine, but, like, it don't. There's no guarantee you're going to be able to bring your dog back and sort it all out and everything. It's ridiculous.
I know. That's what I am most worried about is it's other dogs. But that's the thing is, I like to find somewhere where there's like nobody about, just to let him have that runabout and like
it's nearly reasonable. I think that nearly, but just not quite enough. Only places I think it should be like designated places that you're allowed to do that, where you have to know your dog is all right off a lead. And a good example is there's like Cannon Hall Farm is somewhere kind of relatively near us, where they've got like a big field out front. Loads of people like to walk the dogs there. That could be designated an official off-lead place, where you can bring dogs that are good with all other dogs and let them off the lead. But not just anywhere. You know, it should be specifically like, because you cannot guarantee that everything else is going to be all right for your dog to be off its lead. It's crazy. So that's talking about Betty with stuff like that, is that's what I didn't like about her, in that I guess it's not so much her fault. I couldn't guarantee other people wouldn't be shit with their dogs and kind of it be off the lead and come up to her and stuff like that. So she was nice otherwise, and she lived a good long while with us, and I think that's, you know, have you ever seen a dead dog?
Oh wow, okay. Maybe.
What was that?
I just felt like I left out of nowhere, to be honest. But
I was gonna kind of. It was a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking more like, have you ever seen like a dead any kind of Like, so, well, like we've seen plenty of dead animals, like a dead bird, but that don't really like feel the same as a dog, you know.
I've seen like dead. This sounds like I just look at them in my spare time. I don't. I've seen like I guess a dead cat before, like
in real life.
Yeah, in real life, like you know, like on the side, like it'd been hit by a car or something. Maybe I've seen a dog that had been hit by a car somewhere. Maybe
I've seen a dead cat before.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a dead cat before in person.
Yeah.
I like to watch the videos online where people like stomp the fucking brains out. No, I don't.
I've been around one before, but it was completely wrapped in.
I've seen a dead person before.
I haven't. I don't think.
I've seen a dead person before. I feel like I've told this story
I think you've
before.
said that's. Is it really weird that I almost kind of wanted to get that over with?
But it's.
Because I'm probably going to have to at some point. I kind of just want to like.
It almost feels like a bit of a cheat one that I did. This sounds all. I don't know. I don't know if this is like an all way to talk.
It weren't like a family member.
No. I'll just quickly bring it up. So basically, me and my friend were walking down from college, and we're going to go get some drinks. And in this town, like many towns, there was a person who was slumped up against a wall that we assumed was passed out drunk or asleep or something, you know, or on some sort of drug, perhaps ketamine, you know, something like
or fentanyl, which is a trendy one.
I know this is more like 2016 in the UK though, so that'd be ketamine. Really, is probably what you're talking about. Spice, yeah, that sort of stuff.
Don't really know what spice even is. To be honest,
it's like a synthetic cannabinoid, I think. But anyway,
what are you to destroy all humans?
It's fucking synthetic cannabinoid. So there was this dude who was slumped up against a wall near the place that we were going to go drink, and then we were like, you know, we didn't remark on it or anything because it's such a common scene. And then we came back out after having a few drinks, and there was like an ambulance there, and the guy was gone. And for some reason, we just said to somebody nearby, we're like, "Oh, what's happened?" We thought there'd been a fight out front or something. We're like, "Oh, what's happened?" We're like, "Oh, it's just been a dead dude here that's been like slumped against this wall."
So like you don't really know, but maybe.
No, I know, but we're pretty.
It's quite reasonably possible.
Yeah, we're like, "Oh my god, fucking so." Yeah. I've seen a dead person before.
It's weird because, like, I had to go and tidy my uncle's house and clean it when he died. He had like an accident, and he were fairly old already, and it kind of were just too much, and he died from it. And you know, I had to like bag up sheets with blood on him and all sorts of things like that. So I kind of saw aftermath. Yeah, but I never actually saw him, so I don't know. Anyway, the reason I say that is when Betty had to be put down, I had to, see kind of like just fade into lifelessness, and I don't know. It's not. I don't know if it's maybe worse for other people to see those things, and maybe it's a particularly like kind of maybe it dampens how traumatic it could be, the setting. You know, when a dog's like it needs to be put down and things like that. But it didn't. I don't know. Like actually watching it happen didn't upset me so much as like, oh, I liked that one. I liked that dog. I don't like most of them. Yeah, it was kind of like that. But yeah. So the next dog that they've got, like after Betty, my family kind of was gonna have a bit of a break from having a dog, but then my mum and my sister got too impatient, basically. I think, and were like they want to adopt another dog, and I don't know. At the time, I was like, sure, I think it's probably a good idea, whatever. But the main problem was they did not look into breeds or anything. They just like went to this dog shelter, had 2 or 3 candidates. One of them was way too lively. Like immediately, it was like, this one is not for us.
Yeah.
And the one we ended up getting was like terrified of me and Simon, my stepdad. Scared of my sister and my mum as well, but like more of us as well. And honestly, I felt bad for this dog. She's called Kiara, which is the one we ended up adopting. And I felt bad when we went to visit. I was like, fuck, we should not take this dog. He's going to be terrified. And basically the breed that this dog ended up being, because she wouldn't run around, because she was scared, we didn't get a sense of like how much stimulation and walking and athleticism and all these sorts of things this dog would need. And because they'd not researched anything, they didn't have a clue. So I hated hated living with this dog because once she got confidence and we're not scared, she just didn't give a fuck. She'll bark all the damn time at nothing. And it's like, it's because she's bored, because they can't, they can't be asked to train her to stop barking, they can't be asked to walk her enough. It's not right. And it pisses me off. One of the people who lives there is retired. Like, he don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is a dog that needs walking like 6-7 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, and he will probably walk her, like, he might take her on an hour walk, which is a big walk to them, and then it'll be like a 10-minute and maybe a 20-minute.
Yeah.
And like, for some smaller dogs, that's plenty, quite a lot. But like, we've recently looked after a Jack Russell cross, and that's not much more than he needed.
Yeah.
So like, when this dog's like one of the most athletic and smart dogs that you can have, I was constantly on edge as to whether it's just going, BAM! Exactly.
Yeah.
I just made you jump, didn't I? Yeah. And like, when you're constantly in fear of whether you're going to be made to jump, because she's so loud.
Yeah.
I've never heard a dog bark as loud. So loud, and it was like she'd just start barking, just nothing, and I'd be like, "Oh fuck!" It's scare the shit out of me, and I couldn't sleep. Like, you know, she'd wake up on a morning and just fucking start barking, because that's what she does. So, we're all up at 7 a.m. It's like, and I know a lot of people think, 7 a.m.'s not that early, but like, I can't get to sleep while late, and. You know, I shouldn't have to. This is another thing. You shouldn't have to abide by all these shit things that come about from these fucking awful beings. So, she'd bark constantly. Constantly needed walking and all these things. Like, she's nice enough. So I ended up having to train this dog a lot, which I really resented her for. She behaves well for me a lot now, but everyone else not so much. I think she's gotten slightly better as she's gotten older, which tends to happen, I think, as well. So that's that one. Some other dogs we've looked after. We look after that one at this house sometimes as well. We've looked after Randy recently, who I probably talked about in another recent podcast.
I like Randy.
Any other dogs I've looked after while we've been here? No, I can't think of any other than the one that's currently living here.
Oh,
the worst one.
Here we go. We're 42 minutes into the podcast, and now we're talking about the main subject of the day.
The worst one.
Oh, jeez, he's fucking poking stuff.
I almost like I'm one. It's one of those things where I almost don't even want to get started because I
don't get me started. Don't
hate it. I hate it. So this dog we're looking at, basically, I don't want a dog, but my girlfriend Jasmine does, and it's like trying to come up with some sort of solution that we could both be happy with. So what I wanted to do was say, well, why don't we, look after other people's pets, see how we go with those, and maybe get a pet that doesn't live as long to start with. Like, literally, like, find the pet that lives the least amount of time, basically, and let's just see how well we cope with something like that. Like a hamster, a mouse was another suggestion.
A mouse would be a
year max kind of living thing.
I feel like hamsters are little fuckers. Like, I find it very hard to get attached to a hamster, but like a mouse, I think are much more social.
It's difficult because they're nocturnal, aren't they? I think mice might be as well. I know hamsters are. So it's like
you also but the problem with mice though is you can't just get one mouse because they're like quite social animals. So you need to get 2 or maybe 3. So
but even so, I mean,
and they will fucking talk, and you will hear. Like, probably at night.
Well, they'd be downstairs, so it's fine. But it's like, part of the problem is, I'm going to lower my voice now. Yeah. She can barely fucking look after her plants, so it's like, it's not even just me not wanting to have to do anything to do with pets. It's also like, is the pet going to get looked after right? And the other problems is like she wants to go on holidays and things like that. So which are we going to prioritize? And both, that's just a decision to make. It's not a problem. But basically, I don't want. She does. One of the solutions that ended up kind of coming about was potentially fostering a guide dog. Now what happens is dog born, it kind of it was a week or so.
The dog baby slops out of the dog pussy.
Yeah. Then you might look after that dog for a year, because when it's about a year old, then it can go to. It has bits of training, here and there, but it then goes off to the proper full-time training stuff after a year. So that was kind of brought up. I said, right. I wanted to try some other things first that weren't as much of a commitment as a year, but I don't know, it just didn't end up happening. So it was like the kind of deal is we can do this if it doesn't affect me in any way or my freedoms in any way, and I don't have to do anything. Like literally, tiniest detail, nothing.
Yeah.
I want to have to do nothing. I want it to the level I'm willing to accept it disrupting my life is for 2, maybe 3 weeks, some noise in the morning or something like that, but that's max. So that's kind of now what's happened since then. We've got quite far in the process, but we looked after Randy, so our uncle's dog, for a bit. That didn't go particularly well, and it kind of shook things a bit as to whether we'll even have this we'd even take one for a year. But the other thing is, what
was Randy's problem? I like Randy.
He pissed and shit everywhere. Every time you walked him, when he got his confidence up, he'd start fucking growling at everything that walked past us.
Oh, well,
he's like, it was really annoying.
He piss and shit all over the house, or he piss and shit
over the house.
Oh, okay, well that's not good.
Yeah.
Randy,
I know.
come on.
And then it's all I don't know. There was other kind of hassles surrounding him that weren't necessarily dog stuff, but other life stuff. Anyway, so that wasn't good. Then also, so now another thing that can happen with the kind of year-long puppy foster thing is before you do that and before they pick out a puppy for you, you can do a temporary foster. So someone else who's doing the year-long puppy thing might be going on holiday or something like that, and they need someone to look after the dog that they're looking after, basically, temporarily. So to me, already, you weren't committed enough to sign up for this, were you?
Yeah.
Why are you going on holiday? You essentially should have been signing up for no holidays for a year.
Yeah.
Already, I don't like that. But, for us, it kind of works out all right, because if we want to know whether we want to do this year-long foster thing, it gives you a much better idea of whether it's right for you. So I wanted to do a couple of these things, see what it's like. It's awful. It's horrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing now. That's the context of what we're doing now. We've got this dog for 3 days.
Okay.
So the first full day we've got. Yesterday, 2:30 turned up, so like half a day. Today's the first full day. Tomorrow is only half a day as well.
Do the play-by-play of the Five Nights at Freddy's situation you're in.
First things first. This dog is massive.
Day one.
You've not even seen her, but you've seen a video.
Yeah.
She's big, really big.
Yeah.
Like she's a Labrador, and I think that she's probably a fairly normal size for a Labrador. But I kind of like it's the biggest dog I've ever had to like personally take care of. She's fucking strong.
Yeah.
She's stronger than Jasmine, probably. Not as strong as me, but like she's really strong. And she don't fully use her strength all the time, but you can tell.
Yeah.
And she doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. Like she will not listen at all. If she's done something wrong and we like shout at a deep voice, no, don't do that. Almost every other dog I've ever done that to, like Taylor at least took under a bit, or they'd like bugger off and be like, she don't care.
Yeah.
Still wagging her tail.
Yeah.
Still like kind of fucking.
Yeah.
It feels like she's smiling at you, and I hate it.
Feels like she's fucking taking the piss. She like knows. She's aware.
Exactly. So like literally no obedience at all, and then. I don't know why. I'll show Judd the video again. Is there an easy way to show this on?
Are you allowed to show this on?
Yeah, of course I am. I'll try and show this on the video version of the podcast. I'll send it to you on Facebook real quick, Judd, just so I can. Oh, it's sent instantly. That's good. I don't know why a female dog would do this. From what I can gather, she's in like the puberty stage, so she's quite horny, essentially.
She is in heat, as the fellas say.
Oh my god, Here we go. But why? Why would she hump?
She's a humping
Why would
stuff.
she hump?
I don't know.
That's not a useful action for a female dog. She's not got a cock that she can put in a female dog. What's she doing that for?
I don't know.
That doesn't work. And like she's been going over to her bed and fucking like I've muted this,
Yeah.
but or like the volume's not loud. It's loud. It's like it's loud. It's really loud, and she's fucking hammering it as well. It's and I think there's something about the fact that she's big that it feels dirty. It feels more like a person's doing that or something.
If I don't know, if like Dolly or somebody was doing something like that, so like look at that little fucking pervert. But like when a dog like this is like, oh my god, you can't be doing that in public, ma'am.
And it's I don't know how. I don't like it already anyway, but it's like 10 times more gross. And I mean, sat there like you know, like a car crash where you can't look at it, like going, fucking hell. And then what she'd do immediately after that, she'd be proper ramming this bed, and then she'll kind of saunter around and sit and look at me, like directly at me, like, what do you think of that? Like, fuck off. Oh my god, literally, within an hour or two of having this dog, the amount of things that are broken, the amount of things that have been chewed. We've got socks have instantly been taken. The doormat, I'm sure you've seen on the way in. That one that's chewed and has got like, there's bits all over it. That's to cover up the one that she's chewed through more. There's one underneath that she's fucked up even more. She almost picked up some pixel buds. These, you know, some earbuds.
Yeah.
And she had them in her mouth. We had to like take it. She was gonna fucking chew them. These are worth like 150 quid.
God.
She just picks them up. I'm gonna fucking eat this now. Like, what the fuck? Dining room chair, which is what Judd sat on right now. She's chewed through that. The TV remote is gone. We can't watch TV downstairs. It's not just that she's chewed it and messed it up. It's gone.
God.
It's broken. It had batteries in it. She popped the batteries, like tooth marks and like fucking like dust, like scorch marks from where the batteries are popped. And then she kept going after that and fully destroyed the TV remote. Because of this, we had to ring up the guide dogs being like, she fucking chewed through a TV remote and some batteries, what do we need to do? Yeah. We had to take her to the vets and like, oh fucking hell. And then we have to go all the way to, and she was fine. She was fucking ramming the bed. Like, she was fucking humping the shit out of her bed and everything. God. So now she's got medication, and it cost over £200.
That's
without damages, just for the vets. Yeah. For a short visit and a bit of medication.
But that's paid by them, surely.
By guide dogs, luckily. Yeah. But we nearly weren't able to figure. Like, it was a pain to figure that out as well. But bear in mind, a lot of this I haven't done. As in, because I kind of preface this like, I ain't doing anything. Yeah. He was already like, I am not going to the vets. Yeah. I'm not sorting this shit.
What? Oh god, what were we going to say? Yeah, can they not cover all these damages as well?
Well, they have kind of like a damage policy thing, but some of it's hard. Like, you can't get these chairs anymore. They're like, they've been handed down to us from like these could be antiques.
So we're talking about 10 grand, 11 grand.
What I think is more reasonable is we'd have to get a quote from someone who could fix it.
Hire a really snooty, like sort of
a really expensive one.
Like,
well, the problem is they might do their own investigation as to how much it could cost to fix it or something like that.
What if he looks at it and goes, £1 million?
I don't know. Well, anyway. One of something that should be pretty easy to reimburse is a TV remote, because we've had to buy another one. Yeah. So surely, like, we've got the obviously proof of purchase for things like that. So surely that should be. It's only 20 quid, but it's not even. It's, you know, we could do with it. Like, we're running out of money this month. If I'm being honest, like, we've got a holiday that we're going on, and like, So that's not even the worst thing. The worst thing is there's a chair in our living room, the pink chair that you know about. Yeah. it's a bit the story behind it's a bit complicated, and it might sound slightly over exaggerated how I'm going to put it, but it's essentially like a family heirloom chair.
Yeah.
Like it's been handed down and kept really nice. So I think
You got it in one of the Apex crates and it
No.
flashed up red.
Okay, so Jasmine's nanan must have bought that expensive from like what was then considered like a. You know, like if you bought like an Armani chair or
Yeah.
something like back then, but it would have been like a British thing,
Mhm.
but like seen as really nice. Like if you had one of them, ooh, that's posh.
Yeah.
And she looked like it's flawless. She looked after it. It's actually like a single beds chair thing.
Yeah.
So it's quite precious. And we've like really made sure we don't like let people eat on it. Like people can sit on anything. It's not
Don't
like
let
it's still a
you
chair.
don't let people eat it.
No, people eat it.
Yeah.
Apparently, dogs can.
Yeah.
Because the it's chewed the fucking leg to bits of
Yeah,
it.
nice.
It's like I don't care that much. It's not my family heirloom chair,
Yeah.
but like it set Jasmine off fucking crying because of this. It's so unacceptable.
Yeah, fair enough. But is it's Jasmine's family heirloom
Yeah.
chair then? Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
just someone's.
No,
It's-
I thought it was like your. I thought it was your family's.
Oh no, it's
yeah,
not.
okay.
Like, if it, you best believe if it were mine,
Yeah.
I'd be kicking off even
Yeah,
more.
no, I know. That's why.
The dog would not be here now if it was. If that
that's
were mine.
why. That's why when you were like, "Oh, I'm not too bothered," I was like, "Oh, that's okay. That's surprising." Yeah, no,
There's
yeah.
not the vast majority of things that I consider precious, like item wise, is in this room,
Yeah.
which is the doors kept shut.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that I would be quite mad about. So I've got a tape player and I've made some like mixtapes that I put into kind of like recording on and stuff like that. That would be really annoying if those got chewed, but. The tape player is not expensive, and I guess I could make the tapes again. It's not the worst. What would be bad is our shoes are under the stairs, and she will pick up fucking anything.
Yeah.
So, and there's some shoes that I can't replace those, and I've looked after them really well, and they are literally irreplaceable. You cannot get them
Yeah.
again.
Maybe just bring your shoes up here as well.
No,
or the dog.
this is the
Yeah.
thing. I'm not fucking bringing 20 pairs of shoes upstairs because there's some fucking I hate the idea. Like, I hate that people try and come up with solutions like that. And I get it. I know you try, like, even you're trying to help right now, and I get most of the time people are trying to help. That is not right.
Yeah.
It's not right to be trying to make that much compensation. Like, you should not have to go out of your way at all for an animal.
Yeah.
Like, that's not right. Unless it's like, save the bees because the entire planet's going to die. That's a whole different scenario.
What if it's a sexy animal like Lola Bunny?
There isn't one. If I had any ounce of finding any, like, cartoon animal character sexy,
Yeah.
gone.
Well, because of this
Hate
dog.
animals too much
Because
now.
of this dog.
Hate
yeah.
them too much, yeah.
You can't be a furry because of this dog.
I'm, like, anti-furry. I was already repulsed by it, and, like, now it's, like, a level that you couldn't even understand. It's, so, yeah, I hate that. And this is the other thing. No instructions on what the fuck we're supposed to be doing here, really.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, something that bothers me a lot is, like, the dog needs punishing for things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a really simple concept of how to train, well,
You're
not even
right.
just dogs, or not even just animals, even people. Like, this is literally how you raise a child as well.
Yeah.
Is it doing something you don't want? If it is, do something it doesn't want. Give
Yeah.
it a punishment. Bad thing, punish. Good thing, praise.
Yeah.
Treat. Easy. It's really easy. Now, the typical things for a dog would be bad thing, smack.
Yeah.
Relative smack. Don't actually try and, like, permanently injure or kill your dog. Like, that is not good.
Tell me I can't give it a Superman punch right in its big fat fucking lovable face.
I reckon you could do that to, like, a St. Bernard. And that would be like an appropriate level of harm for that dog,
And look at
for how
me like-
massive and
And look
intimidating
up at
it
me
might
and
be.
go, "Have I displeased you?" Father?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like Randy were looking after tiny Jack Russell. He would literally, I could just like hold him like a burrito. He was like the size of a burrito.
Yeah.
I would just like it'd be like two things. I just like smack him a bit.
Yeah.
Like really. Whereas Kiara, my mum's dog that I've had to discipline a lot. She's big. Well, not massive. She's not as big as this dog.
Yeah.
She's fairly big, so I'd give her like a.
Yeah.
And she was fine.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like the shock that makes them go, oh fuck, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So smack when they do something wrong. Do something good. Give them a little bit of food they like, or at least a pet. Something. It's really easy, and it's just there's nothing like that we're allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the advice that we've been given, she's chewing the fuck out of really precious things in his house. Just like give her a chew toy. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
She's not doing anything. She just wants to chew things that are important. It's like she knows what's important, just chewing that. So it's just bollocks, and I hate that there's no... It's like, it sounds like I want to punish. I don't. I'd rather not have to do that at all. I'd rather only praise good behaviour. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But you have to. What's really, 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 like, doing my head in, and I don't know what process to do about it, but I need to report it to Guide Dogs somehow or something. Well, I don't. I shouldn't have to do any of this because I said I don't want to have to do anything. But, whoever is looking after this dog for the year-long puppy training thing, they are not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Two things are a kind of like less important example. They're not allowed on furniture and they're not allowed upstairs. And the furniture thing, at least, it was explained to me being as like, if a blind person gets this guide dog, they might not want it on their furniture. Some people don't like dogs on their furniture. So it's better to train them all to not want to go on the furniture for the ones that don't like dogs on the furniture, rather than, because it's like a blind person can't train them out of it, then it's like... So, similar sort of thing with going upstairs, they're not allowed to do that. This dog will just jump on the sofa like it's done it a million times and just instantly get settled. Immediately shot upstairs. So, to be fair, the benefit of doubt on that one is you're supposed to have a baby gate for them. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's like, there's no gate, I'm going to go upstairs.
They also, if they're in a new place, they're going to have a look around because they come. So
you'd think. Yeah. We've had multiple dogs come to this house, whether they've been staying with us from overnight or not. We've had 4 or 5 dogs.
Yeah.
None of them have wanted to go upstairs. Not a single one of them.
Yeah.
Right, including my own family dog, who would have followed me up the stairs in where I used to live.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it. Sleeps downstairs and everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to do it. So that, tells me that, like, this dog's used to going upstairs.
Yeah.
And then the chewing as well. Like, chewing everything and just, like... How the fuck have you been given one of the most trainable dogs ever, right? Like, literally, the whole reason this dog's been born is to be trainable. He's also got professionals telling you exactly what to do because the dog's got a job.
Yeah.
Like, how have you got got those resources and you've been doing it for a year?
Yeah.
There's no way all those things can happen and then it's going to behave like that. No way. They've just been given a dog and been like, ain't it nice, a little puppy, ha 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 ha. Fucking... And I'm annoyed at 2 sort of areas with it. 1, obviously those people that are that ridiculous to have done that. 2, guide dogs. Like, you need to be able to vet people better than that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to deny people who are going to be like that because this is not right. There's no way that dog is going to pass and be allowed to go to further guide dog training. No, can you imagine a blind person having that dog? He's going to eat them. He would eat the blind person. I think you're inanimate enough. Honestly, the house would be chewed to bits and like... You could say that, well, they're off, it'll be off to do the proper training now.
Yeah.
That training would have to be a miracle for that dog to make any progress at this point. So, Johnny Depp's joined us in chat again. Hello, Johnny Depp. I'm just complaining about the dog I've got to look after.
We're gonna kill all dogs, Johnny. Well, wasn't there something about a dog in the Amber Heard trial? What was that? Oh yeah, her dog stepped on a bee, didn't it? And then she pulled that really like upset.
My dog stepped on a bee.
She went like that. Fucking yeah.
So yeah, I'm very not happy. Currently, we're definitely not having our own dog.
Yeah,
we're definitely not fostering a puppy for a year. And right now, I'm very on the edge as to whether we would even temporary foster again. As in, I'm kind of leaning towards. No.
Yeah. In fact, you're probably thinking, maybe I don't want to have this relationship with this woman. Maybe I just want to...
No. So, yeah. That's been the Dog Hell podcast this time.
Why didn't you try having a kid instead?
No. Oh God, I'm going to say something that could be really awful. I don't actually think this, but I was going to say this as a stupid dark joke. If I had a kid, it'd probably, and it would annoy me as much as this dog, the soft spot on the back of its head would look real tempting.
Ian puts down,
like off button. No, obviously, of course I wouldn't. But you
maybe
know,
though.
it's no. I was, it'll have to be safe for next time. I was gonna have a nice little segment about if you had to get rid of 5 takeaways out of all the takeaways in the UK, which ones would it be? Save it for next time.
I think I'd rather slit my wrist than get rid of 5 takeaways. Like,
well, we'll be back in more interesting, jolly stuff like that next time. But it won't be next week. I'm in Saudi Arabia next week, so there'll obviously be a bunch of Saudi Arabia talk and what goes off. I'm like an investigative journalist of.
We'll not be talking in the Saudi Arabian language because we don't know it. We don't speak it.
Well, I think it's Arabic.
Are you sure?
No, I've not been yet. I don't know. So that's where I'm going. The week after that, there could also be a problem. So as it stands now, the next 2 weeks there won't be a podcast. The second week I might let you know if there is, but consider there not being one for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Unless I hit you up otherwise. Good, so you'll have to be left in anticipation.
I hate this fucking thing. So. Good.
You don't hate this thing as much as I hate that dog.
Yeah,
right, I'm going to go and introduce Judd to this devil dog now.
She's either going to fuck me or eat me, so we'll see.
I said you can make I said to Jasmine, you can make quite a funny TikTok because she looks really cute. Like she looks like an angel.
Yeah.
You could, you're the devil. And she could have that where it starts with just a shot of her looking nice, and then a montage of ramming the thing, chewing everything up, and Anyway, right, that's the wrap up. Okay, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, folks.
Bye.
Bye. Strangle your dogs. Not really.